Everyone, happy Friday. There's a quick little dash there. I was being judged for how much sugar I have in my brew, which is a lot. I am gonna say it's quite a bit in the morning, but I need to be happy and raring to go for days like today because it is Thankcraft. It's Friday. We have a brand new launch for you. It's very, very special indeed. It's sold out on Creating Craft when it launched on Tuesday. It's beautiful. You're going to love it. But before we show you the product, we have a few little things to go over today. First of all, I'm going to introduce you to the people I'm working with today. I remembered! Round of applause for Natalie. So Emily is running the show today, making sure that everything runs smoothly. We've changed our mics, so we shouldn't have any sort of cutouts there. It's all going to go well. And over in the demonstration station is Catherine.
Good morning.
Hi Kat, how are you?
I'm all right today.
It's going to be a fun day, I think.
I'm feeling a fun day
It's going to be super fun, isn't it? And that's what Fridays are all about here at Hunky Dory Crafts. We're going to give you loads of chances to win some prizes. We've got a Win It Weekly question. We're going to spin the wheel at the end of the show. But we do have some offers that are running out and I need to tell you about them because they're just so good. So on tonight at midnight, our trolley dash deals end. There was some good stuff on that show. I think things have already sold out, am I right, Emily?
Yeah.
So congratulations if you won some of them because there were some great deals to be had. We have our Super Savers, that runs up until Sunday night. Monday
3rd at midnight.
I should read things properly. There are things on these cue cards that I should read. So Monday, the 3rd of May, midnight, all your Super Savers is going to be over. So there's good things on there. You've got those, was there Adorable Scorable or was that Monday? Or am I just confusing everything? And should I just shut up now and get on with the show? Let's do that. Let's have a look at the Win It Weekly question.
Worse though.
I know.
It makes you more foggy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I was just saying Wednesday I hadn't had enough sleep, so I just couldn't speak on Wednesday, but then today I'm just like, I've had loads of sleep and don't know what's going on. But Win It Weekly, we're going to give away 5 of these prizes today. 5 people are going to go home with our adorable schoolboard mini. Now this is super, super cute. It's great for people who like to craft on the go. It's great for people who go to craft clubs. You can fit these into your craft trolleys. We've also got mini cutting boards that fit in just inside these score lines, so then you can have your own sort of portable crafting desk. So if you're someone who likes to do some sneaky crafting while you're away on holiday, maybe you're visiting the caravan, maybe you're going to, I don't know, maybe a nice hot country for a couple of days, but you like to craft while you're out there, this is an essential item to get put in your baskets to be winning on today's show. It's fantastic. And the question, because there is still time to enter this competition, the question you need to like, share and comment on this video to be in with a chance of winning is, which famous musical group could not read or write music? Was it A, the Beatles, B, the Rolling Stones, or C, the Beach Boys? Lots of people this week have been giving the answer to their question, and it's me. I haven't actually myself Googled this, and I probably should have done, because then I would have had some insight, but we're going to give you some insight into who these people are when we announce the winner in around 45 minutes, so stick about for that one. We've also got our Throwback Thursday deals that we brought to you yesterday. It was the beautiful Build a Hydrangea stamp and die set. In this you have the dies to cut out all of your little petals, you have the stalk, you have the leaves, then you also have these stamps. So the idea behind this is that you stamp your stamp and then you cut out all of your little dies and then you pop them on the image that you can see here. And it makes some beautiful, beautiful cards. It's only $6.99 at the moment. And to go alongside that, because you're going to need something to make your hydrangeas and pop them on, we also have our Hydrangea Matastic selection. It's a 30 sheet pack. You get 10 colours, 3 of each, and some beautiful purples, some deep blues, some browns, yellows. You've got some pink in here as well. And then if we flip it over, we've got a nice selection of sort of greens, creams, you've got a blue and a beautiful lilac in here as well. £4.99 if you want to get that. For any of our offers that we've spoken about in the show, if you head over to hunkydorycrafts.co.uk, at the very top there's a little offers section. You can click on that and it will take you to all the different offers we have running on our website, which is good because you can see them all in one place. So let's get on with the show, shall we? Let's roll a VT and see what's coming up. Hi to everyone who's joined us today. I'm just having a look. People from all over the world have joined us this morning for our show, and I'm not surprised because this is a good one. We are bringing you our Moonstone Snippables dies. Now this collection was designed at the beginning of this year, I feel. We've already launched one, and this is the second of this style that Stacey has designed. Now, Stacey herself designs our stamps and our dies with Fantastic Jennifer, but she is a crafter and she knows how expensive these items are, and she really wanted to bring to us an affordable decoupage. I couldn't think of the word then, I wanted to say decollage. An affordable decoupage die that is great for creating beautiful 3D images, but at half the price of some dies out there on the market, because they are huge, some of these dies that you can have, and these ones are really, really great. So we're going to start off with the first one, and then you'll be able to see the idea, how it works, and what this collection is all about. So this is our first one. This is the Magnolia Die Set. So in all of your dies, you're going to receive one large floral cutting die and a sentiment. So in this one you have the flowers, and then you have From the Bottom of My Heart, and that is a beautiful sentiment that goes alongside it. And now this just looks like one die, and I know you're thinking, how am I going to make this into beautiful decoupage? Well, on the inside, Stacey has created the most amazing and simple, easy to use cutting sort of grid here. So you follow all of these little lines, and you can see where the red bits are is where you're going to snip. Now, how Stacey has designed the die is so that they're really quite flexible. They have a lot of cutting lines with like notches on, so you just trim them away, don't you? It's really, really fantastic. So each one inside will have this instruction for you on the inside. So this is the first one. They're $9.99 on their own if you're just wanting one flower, or you can get two for $14.98. So that is the die that you are going to receive home when you make these orders. And then when you've got them home, you've snipped them out, you can be making beautiful cards like this one. And when I turn it around, look at the dimension on that. It's so big. There are so many layers here. I think there's 7 in total on every single flower that you can create. If you don't want to do that, then you can just use this die and cut your own layers out. It's really down to you. But they make some really beautiful dies. They also come with a pad in a multi-buy, which we're going to get to a little later on. But I just want to show you all the dies quickly first, and then we're going to go to Kat, who's going to do a demo. So we've got the next one is the Lily, and this one's really, really pretty. And then you've got that beautiful sentiment that says Forever Remembered, and I think it's really nice to go with the lily, that one, because a lily is a flower that you use for those more touching sort of occasions, don't you? And then you've got inside all of those instructions that you need for making your decoupage. And the thing about this is that these dies just make these beautiful images, but then the cards that you can create can be so different. Jane has made this one here where she's cut the front of her card away, and then Barbara has made this beautiful one, which has your image on the inside, but it's a little bit of a sort of 3D card there. It's really, really lovely. It's super fun to do as well. I think it's great for people who don't necessarily like to cut out really tiny decollage, because it's quite big, it's easy to handle. This is the third one. This is our dog rose, which is a really beautiful design actually. So you get your die, your sentiment, which reads "You are my favourite," and then I'm going to show you the inside as well. You've got your all your sort of cutting guides on the inside. There's a few more to show you. We've got Peony, which has I love this flower. This looks amazing. It's so pretty. And then the sentiment that says "With love and best wishes." Here's an example made by Jane to show you just how stunning that is. I mean, she just used some nesting dies there to sort of bring that up into the center, but it is absolutely lovely. You can also make some beautiful cards. This one here that Kat made has got some, I love how you put that in the corner. It just really sort of frames that sentiment. It's beautiful. So that is your Peony. Then we have, I can't pronounce this. Emily, you're going to have to help me.
I can't pronounce flowers. Clematis?
I'm trying to think how Stacey told me it the other day. Clematis. I want to say that's right. If it's not, you can hound me all you like on the comments, because I definitely said it wrong. The clematis. If I said it right, please praise me, because you know how bad I am at saying things wrong. So this one has the beautiful sort of falling flowers, I would say, here. You can imagine these sort of like scaling up a wall. They would look really nice. So this one's sentiment says, "I believe in you," which I think is a lovely touching sentiment. And then lastly, we have our anemone. I don't know if I said that right either. Anemone. I hope so. Or am I saying it like the sea? This is why we need Dan. This is why we should have had Dan on the show with his posh punctuation and grammar.
He's a stickler.
He is, isn't he? But we have, this one's really pretty. It kind of reminds me of a poppy, actually. I'm not going to lie.
It can be coloured to look like a poppy.
It can be coloured to look like that. And then we've got Wishing You a Day Filled with Joy. And this one looks really nice. I love this one. This is a great example. I think Rachel's done this because it doesn't have a name on it. And she's just popped them in that corner there with a nice little band around the centre of a card to really frame it. I love these dies. Let us know what you think. Like I said, you can get it in the Ultimate Collection, which is all 6 dies and a paper pad, which I'm going to show you. But first of all, we are going to head over to Kat, who is going to do a little demonstration for us.
I am. But first of all, can I pinch the dog rose die from
That
it?
one.
Thank you. This is what I'm going to be using today. So just pop my die off the back. And the sentiment, because we'll be using that as well. What I love about the sentiments on here, though, is that you can mix and match them all. They're not specific
And
to
you can use them in other projects as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I am going to be making a 7" by 5" tenfold card. So I'm just going to take one of our 7" card blanks.
I think that's my favourite card
moment.
blank size, you know. 5 by 7 for the win.
Just snip off 2 inches with the fold at the top. And we get this lovely tenfold shape.
You know, I think people sometimes think, how do I make a tenfold? Like, how do you do that? Because you do need to have like extra long pieces of card. You can cut into A3 and make them, but you can just cut into your card blanks. If you've got a 7 by 7, just chop it down slightly, and you can create that really nice shape.
Absolutely. Yeah, I chop into my card blanks all the time. It's amazing what you can do with them. They're not just card blanks. And how fortuitous that the page I'm using is the very first page.
Oh,
love it. So you get all 8 of your layers that you need on one A4 piece, but you don't need an A4 die cutting machine because you can just cut right in them
trim around it, can't you?
So don't be put off by that.
And I think all of these dies do fit through your small machines. I want to test it for you to see if they fit through your Gemini minis or your smaller ones. I'm not sure if they probably will,
you know, looking at them.
I'm trying to think of how big your plates are. But they probably might just squeeze into your mini die cutting machines, but they definitely fit through your midis with loads of space.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you've got a really tiny machine, you probably will fit these through if you're going to do what Kat does here and just trims around the image to cut each die individually.
So you just line your die up on top of your image, and they're a really, really good fit, these ones, so it really helps you get a good guide.
And I don't think that you need to, there's a bleed on here, isn't there? So it's quite easy. You don't have to get it super perfect.
You don't, but it's at the
on.
same time, it's still quite a small bleed, so you know you've got it in exactly the right place, but you can just see a tiny little, there's not, sometimes if there's too much bleed,
you can be a little bit out, can't you?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to secure this with a bit of low tack tape, and I have learnt over time, it's one of those places where I used to try and sneak a bit of time back for myself and just put one piece of tape on, and then it'd still come out wonky. So it's worth, if you're doing it right.
I agree.
Make sure it's extra secure. And then pop that into my folder. And you'll repeat this process 8 times. I'm not going to cut all 8 out on here because we've got 3 demos to do and it would be a long time. I have pre-cut the others, but I'll show you how I cut all of them up for this first card.
I love how everyone in the comments has sort of like written clematis, like how I would say it phonetically. I love you all. Thank you so much.
So if you have a look at this piece here, you can see where your bleed is. So you can see how evenly and well it cuts if you line it up to the edge. So I'm going to move my tape because I will reuse that. I do like being a bit frugal with my masking tape. And just pop this out.
And it is a paper as well, which means if you want to get really creative and use your embossing tools when you do this to sort of create some real dimension to the petals and things, you can do that as well.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's a lovely weight paper at the same time. It's not flimsy, or it's got a nice feel to it. So I have pre-cut all my 8 layers, and they're all just in the original state at the moment. So I'm going to put one aside for my base, because that just stays as it is. And then I'm going to open up my instructions, and hopefully you can follow along with me here. When we first did these, I openly admit I was a little bit scared. I was like, ooh, but they're so much fun.
They're so much fun. They're so simple to use as well, I think
As soon as you start cutting into them, you realise most of the work's done for you.
It is.
Most of the lines are actually cut. It's just the right little snip areas.
They're like little pips.
Yeah.
It's like the little pips in your kits that Stacey's just added on. But they're actually, as soon as you get those pips out, you can really see how those sections are going to fall away really, really easily. It's not like you're having to cut around a whole flower. Stacey's done an amazing job. And I'm going to say Jen as well, just in case I offend anyone, because they both work on this collection. But they've done a really good job to make it super easy for you when you get these home to create some beautiful decoupage floral images.
Yeah, they work so well. So with this first layer, we're basically just cutting away the little white outer leaves, and then there's a couple of the bigger green leaves. And like I said, it's just snips you're making. You see like this piece here, it's already, all that's already cut. I'm just snipping at the edges. So you just guide your scissors round and make those snips. And the diagrams are really easy to follow.
And then as soon as you get like into the smaller layers and things like that, you're going to have bits and pieces left over.
Absolutely.
Like leaves and flowers, and you can use them to then decorate maybe the edge of your sentiments or corners, or maybe you're going to put a nice little layer on. You can use them on the edges as well, so they give you extra elements as well. You do get 3 of each design, so don't be afraid that you're going to sort of using one sheet, you're going to, I can't think of the word, you're going to sort of use up everything, because you definitely not.
And I'm being a little bit excessive in this one. I'm using two lots in one. I'm going to do like a corner one, like that one you showed before, a little bit like that. So I'm on to the second layer, and you'll just see that it just starts, you cut away all the detail you've already cut, and then just a little bit more each time. And I always like to start with the die cut in the same position, so I know I'm following the same path and the same route round, and then just turn it as I go.
So you know which bits you need to remove.
Yeah. And the beauty is as well that they are so forgiving. So if you do accidentally snip off a wrong bit, there's only you going to know about it.
It's very, very true.
Or you can put that down and use another piece and then use that for a later bit again. So we're just going around all the edge of this flower, and then we're taking a little bit more off this side than we did before, so we're snipping away all these outer leaves. And that's our second layer done. So it does come together. I mean, it's not going to make you the quickest cards in the world.
No.
But, I mean, I don't know, there's something quite relaxing about doing it as well. So start in this position again. And just keep
Neela's asked a question, because we do have some stamps coming up on the show, so you are definitely ahead of us on that website. He says, does the die fit over the stamps to cut the stamp out like the last Snippables? It does do that. It is exactly the same size. It's designed to work like that. So once you've got your paper pad all used up, you've got those stamps to be able to stamp onto your Snippable cutouts, and then create some beautiful stamped decollage.
Hard images. Love the stamps. And again, they work so beautifully on their own as well, without the Snippables. If you didn't want, or you've not got a die cutting machine, they're still a wonderful item on their own.
They are really, really pretty. Laura did some shows for us. If you watched on these launch on Creating Craft, you'll have seen Laura, our new demonstrator. She was doing this show for us, and she made some beautiful cards, not only with these dies, but also with the stamps as well. So I don't think you can catch up on Creating Craft anymore.
No, I was looking at that the other day. I wanted to go back and watch one of your shows.
It was really sad, but she did a great job with those.
So on this third layer, we cut around the main flowers, and then in the third flower on the end, we're just going to take out the centre of the flower and one of the petals separately. But it shows you all that on the picture, so I'm just going to line them up so I know what order they need to go in when we sit them together in a minute. And we're on to number 4. And this is where you start feeling like you're being a bit wasteful because you're cutting more away than you're using. But like Natalie said, save it all up. And it's there, you can make backgrounds with it. There's even pieces you can still layer up on their own.
Yeah.
Save them for other images where you just need to make a bit of a background for other cards. Like I said, all the hard work's done for you. It's just tiny little snips. I'm not actually doing very much cutting at all. For the people out there that like to do the pip snipping, this is very satisfying.
Yeah, it is. You can actually hear it as you're just like snipping them away. You can hear the little like pips coming off.
And we're just taking out the 2 centre little bits of this flower. They look like little tennis balls.
Little tennis balls. Lots of people are still putting in their ideas for their answers for the Win It Weekly question, and a lot of people are going with the Beatles. And I feel like that one would surprise me the most, actually. I don't know the answer to this question.
See, I see the Beatles playing, because you had Ringo on the drums, didn't you? And
yeah. You got Paul McCartney.
And then they had
John
guitars and pianos and stuff. So you'd think there was some kind of... You can't believe that all 4 of them had no idea about reading music.
No. And I mean, what did they do? Because obviously, if the answer is correct, like what did they do when other people wanted to know the music?
Yeah. I don't know.
Did someone have to come in and write the music so then it could go off? What is this? These are all questions you need to think about. It's important.
Absolutely. And the same with Rolling Stones. I associate them with drums and things like that. Yeah.
I do feel like though in their heyday, they might have been a bit too having too much fun to want to concentrate on that, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I think that was after they found fame and they got the money and the rock and roll experience.
Maybe they did then. Maybe they did. Who knows? Who knows?
Whereas the Beach Boys, they were American, weren't they? I could just be showing myself up completely.
No, they are. Yeah, they are.
I'm not saying that Americans can't play music. I mean, is that I visualise them more on videos and stuff than I do them actual
Yeah, because they're more of a... Are they the 60s, the Beach Boys?
Yeah,
I feel like...
anyway.
Before us. I'm quite sure.
Got a lot of comments in.
Oh, do you know what, Kat? Your mum said she's actually been to see the Beatles live.
She has, I know
This
that.
is crazy.
Yeah.
My granddad went to see the Beatles live at Blackpool... where was it? The Winter Gardens in Blackpool. And he says the only thing he remembers from that night is the screams of the girls and the smell, because he said it was just insane. People were just going crazy.
I bet they were. Right, so I've done all that. They're all cut out, all my different layers, so they're all ready just to layer up. So you start with your base layer, leave that as it is, and then with our wonderful foam pads, I've just found a sneaky little bit that pops out. And I'm using they're like our medium squares, these, aren't they?
Yeah, these
They're
are
one
good
of our,
ones for layering up on here though.
Yeah.
I think for any decoupage, these are a good size square for all those little bits and pieces, because you could maybe use a bigger section here, but it would just kind of get in the way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're
The mixed foam pads are also the same as it.
Oh, they are! Emily with the good tips here.
there you go, Mum. You said you wanted some foam pads.
Foam
Deal.
pads, super saver deal. So get them in your basket when you get these. You've got everything you need. You just need your die cutting machine and away you go. You can be making cards straight away.
And then, just like usual decoupage, line them up. Once
I
you're
just
happy
think
with the placement, give it a good press down.
It's such a great collection for how affordable it is. Crafting can be such an expensive hobby, as we all well and truly know. It can be so expensive, but a little thing like this to be able to bring the price down, but you still get the beautiful effects of those companies who give you, I don't know, seven dies per pack. You still get the amazing finish to your cards as you would do if you spent £60 on one die. Absolutely. Versus £10. And remember, if you're part of the club, you're also going to get your discount on there as well, so you're going to get your extra 5% off that £9.99. But the definite suggestion from me is to get this in the bundle, because you're going to get all 6 dies, and you're going to get the paper pad that Kat has used to cut out all of her elements, which are already pre-coloured for you, so there's no sort of fussy colouring that you need to do if you don't want to. And you can see in the space of 10 minutes how she's cut this out. Maybe a little bit longer because you need to cut all the other bits out.
Yeah, but that doesn't take too long.
No, that doesn't take long as when you've got it all cut and ready to go. And then you can make such pretty sort of centerpieces for your cards. It's really, really lovely.
That's fab. And don't be intimidated by them. They look
They
like
do,
they could be a bit complicated
really
to
not.
start off with, but they're really, really not.
And I mean, that's coming from us too.
Yeah.
And me and Kat don't do complicated. Especially me.
Only in relationships.
But it looks really good already. You can see, even looking at it from the height that the overhead camera is at, you can see how much sort of dimension you get in here.
And if you're frugal, you don't need to do all the layers all
really
the time.
don't.
You could just use 4, and that then extends your 3 that you get in the pack to 6, and then that throughout all the pack, you know. It's completely up to you, which is what I love about lots of the stuff that we do, that you can start with one main idea, but there's so much other stuff you can do on top. So I'm just going to take my fiddly little bits now and some of our super skinny foam pads. Just add these on. And I am, like I said, I am being excessive and using 2 of these on my cards, but I have already done the other one, so you don't need to sit and watch me do it all again.
But it's nice to see the start to finish on how you really do create all of this.
Yeah, I thought it was good to show it on one of them. I've not been as on my other demos. I've done a bit more prep, a bit more Blue Peter style. Here's one I made earlier, kind of stuff. should have got some of our tiny, tiny little foam pads for this one, I think. But you get the idea.
I love cutting my foam pads down. I think
I'm
I
just
use.
fighting with my nails today.
I definitely use like these strips more than I use the tiny, tiny ones.
Yeah, well, I tend to because you've always got little bits left over, haven't you? So
Yeah,
they're great
you always
for...
cut like tiny bits off anyway. So you've got them around, you've got them, but then when you need bigger ones for more spaces, you've got that as well. Elaine has asked, can you buy the pads separately? You can. If you want to buy the bundle and then you want an extra pad, they are £11.99. So like I said, you've got 12 different designs in there. It's so good, isn't it? So much dimension, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I'll put that to one side with the one I made earlier, and we'll get down to our card base. So also in the pad, we have these beautiful matching papers, and you get 2 A5s in each one, don't you?
So you can cut them down, make some A5s. You can cut them down even further if you want to.
So let me have a flick through. I want a pinkish and a purple, and I know they exist. I have seen them in here.
It's where they are, that's the problem.
It is. So I'm going to take that purple and this pattern purple. And we've got that. So I'm going to cut a matte layer for our card blank, and I'm going to leave a little white edge around the side. So I'll be cutting my darkest purple to, let's do it this way so I can actually see what I'm doing, to 3 notches under 5, and then it'll be 3 notches under 7. You know, I sat there yesterday and I thought, right, I'll count up my notches so I can give them the actual like measurement, and I just kept losing myself, so I thought, no, I'll stick with notches.
I've tried it before, and it's really, really hard. And I remember a couple of months ago, do you remember this, Emily? I did some filming for one of our American distributors, and I had to say everything in like their measurements. Emily will tell you, it was hilarious because I kept saying things wrong. I kept saying it like I can't do proper measurements. It's notches, so much easier. So especially if you're a visual person.
Yeah, that's how you do it. And once you get into your own rhythm, you know how you like your mat and layers and you want things to look. So you do you.
I agree.
So I've cut my second piece to exactly the same size, but I'm going to now cut it on a diagonal from the longest points. Just line that up on the scoreboard. And this is what I love about our trimmer, is the fact it cuts exactly where it says it's going to cut.
Yeah,
so you know you're doing it right. So I'm just going to cut this in half, 2 triangular pieces, and then I'm just going to take, I think, where should we go? Take 3/4 of an inch off each one. So when we put them back on our card, it leaves us a nice channel of the purple.
Oh, that's nice.
Underneath. And it'll highlight our sentiment when we put it on. Keeping it nice and straight, and you've got all the lines going across your board, so because you've not got, you can keep it nice and straight, and they all line up to your 1/4 inch marks, so you know you're not going on the wonk. Okay. And then you can place these on your card. You could go right up to the edge if you wanted, but I'm going to leave just a little border.
That looks really cute.
Like that. I'm going with my favourite construction glue.
Construction glue is back on Create and Craft as well, and that's sold out, I think. I think everyone's just crazy for construction glue.
I certainly am. I'm going to divorce my husband and marry
some construction glue. We'll arrange it next week. How are you feeling, Kat? Next Wednesday, live on Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll do. We'll forget whatever's launching.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
We'll have a hunky-dory wedding.
We're gonna have a hunky-dory wedding. Kat and her construction glue. Tune in, people. You're all invited.
And this works just as well on the papers. It doesn't give you any rippling or bubbles. It's just fabulous. Hence why we all love it so much. Okie dokie. And now I'm going to add on the decoupaged elements that we've already made up to the corners. It's just so fun how all this works so well together.
It does. I think the colours that have been used for these background papers and the textures as well really fit with all of the designs that we've got in the pad.
They do, because it's not like there's one paper that matches one,
just only one thing.
colourway. You can mix and match with lots and lots of them. And then this one in the bottom. And then I'm going to add that to my card base, and then we are going to go and cut out our sentiment. And what these very, very clever people have done, they've even put sentiments in there for us to cut out of the pad.
Do.
They're really, really on it.
There's a debate in the comments.
What are we debating?
Chocolate freckles versus the British jazzles. Do you remember those
Oh.
white chocolate buttons with the thousands on top?
Love jazzles. I'm
I've
gonna have
never
to go
heard
to
of
the
a
shop.
chocolate freckle. What's that?
I haven't heard. That's what they call it.
Ah.
Are they the Australian versions?
Yeah. It's definitely a frazzle.
Oh my gosh.
Jazzle.
They're so good though, aren't they? But I do, yeah. I saw that Catherine had commented to say that she'd felt very sick after eating them, and I agree. After eating a full bag from Pick a Mix, I am also very full. But I think they're my favourite thing you get in a Pick a Mix, you know.
Really?
Yeah, them, and this is really controversial. I love the cola cubes.
Oh, yeah, I love
But you know why I love a cola cube? 'Cause it's just sugar, isn't it? This is why I have 10 sugars in my tea.
So when you go back to your paper pad and you're looking for your sentiments, because some of the flower images are bigger than others,
Yep.
the sentiments are actually printed on the other sheet. So I was clever enough to make a note that the sentiment for this set is actually printed on the lilies, if I can find them. There we go. And at the top corner, if you can actually see it, it does tell you
Which
the
one you
numbered,
need.
which set matches which sentiment die. So I am on the dog rose, which is number 3, which is this one here.
Oh, Dawn's put a good question out. Hunky Dory construction glue, 1,001 uses. How do you use yours? How do you use yours? I did try once, and this is hilarious. I was at TV and I'd done my nails the night before, and
I've done this too.
one of them had fallen off, and I didn't have time to go to get some super glue, nail glue from the shop. Didn't have any time at all, so I was like, I don't have any super glue in my bag. What am I going to use? Construction glue. Didn't last all day, but it lasted through the show.
Quick fix.
Lasted the 45 minutes I needed it to.
So you just line that up again, straight onto the...
Oh, there's some great things coming in now. Gail's used it on shoes. Susan says she fixed her vacuum cleaner tube. We should publish. We should get everyone's comments, and we should get a blog for the 1,001 uses for construction glue.
I like it.
I think that's a great
Sounds
idea.
fun.
It'll just, if anything, it'll make people laugh at how crazy we
do
are.
like a hacks video, you know, like they do hacks videos, like with loads of
There we
different
go.
things
Cat's put herself in for a hacks video.
in. We should do it.
We should do
Construction
it.
glue
I've got
hacks
some
video.
shoes that need fixing. My sandals are always breaking. We'll bring them in.
And again, there's a bleed around that, so you know you're going to get it in the right place.
It works on cars. Emma's used it to fix her son's badge back onto his car.
There we go. Amazing. You're my favourite. Oh.
I love the sentiments in here. They're really nice. There's a good mix, I think, for lots of different occasions. But like you said, they can be mixed and matched with each different design. Because they're all in different colourways, and even if they're not in a colourway you want, then just get your adorable scorable out, get your mirror out possibly. There's so many different things you can do with this.
Yeah. And I'm just going to pop that in the middle.
And a really cool trick as well.
Do you like cool tricks?
I do like cool tricks. How Kat then cut that out. If you get another sheet from a different page that's in a different colourway, and you just cut around with your knife the edge of the image,
Yeah.
so around the bleed line, you can create borders for your
so you can
sentiments
make
to
that.
go on. Yeah, so if you fussy cut around where it says the words, you can make a little border for the bits to stand up on.
So I'm just going to finish this off with some gems, and I'm going to go a little bit funky today and put them in a corner position, not my usual straight line. It's Friday. Let's live a little.
Anything happens on a Friday.
This pale pink pearls just work absolutely perfect with this.
They're
one.
also on Super Saver deals.
They are. They're all on your Super Saver deals. How much is it, Emily, for the 14 different colours of your pearls?
$14.99.
$14.99. That works out as just over. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does. Just over £1 a pack. I love that. That is such a good use of how to use your dies, and a really good example of how you actually build it up from start to finish. So lots of people were asking loads and loads of questions about all the other stuff we have included. So I'm going to show you first of all our die pad that you saw Kat use. You get 12 different designs here, so there's 6 different dies, but you get 2 different colourways and you get 3 of each in there. That was a lot of maths, so if I confused you, I apologise. In the front of your pad, I'm just going to show it you the opposite way, you also get, even as well as the handy guide in the dies, you've got a guide here on how to use your paper pad that Stacey has designed for you. Then, like I say, you've got some beautiful colours in here. The first one is that dog rose and the beautiful pinks that Kat's just used. Then you get it in a nice sort of like orange tone, which I think is really, really pretty. What else have we got in here? Next up, we've got the Peony. So you've got this beautiful pink colour. I really love the shading on these as well. It just brings the images to life. Then you've got a beautiful cream. We've got the, I can't remember how I said it. The anemone in pinks, and then in that really nice orange colour. Then we've got the clematis in purple, and you've also got this in a beautiful cream colour. I love the creams that are in here. You could mix and match all these flowers together and make a bouquet of just beautiful flowers, and it would be so easy to make as well. We've got the lilies in the most fantastic peach tones, and these sheets also have 3 of your sentiments on as well. And then you've got it in pink, and you've got different styles of your sentiments up at the top. And then you've got your Magnolia in Magnolia with your sentiments. You've got 1 down here at the bottom and 2 up the top. Then you've got your Magnolia in a really nice pink colour. And then, like Kat says, we've also given you background pages, so you can really make a card from this whole ultimate collection that you can get. The pad's $11.99 on its own, but if you buy the stamps and the pad in the collection, it is 50. Did I say stamps? If you buy the dies and the pad in the collection, then it is $56.93. Remember, you can get your discount on top of that as well. And why not add some of those Super Saver deals like those foam pads or the glues, so you've got it all ready to go. And you can see the textures that are all in here. It's really lovely. You've got some nice sort of like foliage down on this one, and then some nice like a watercolour wash here. You've got this really nice speckled brown, and then the ditzy florals of that purple. And then that is everything that you have included in that pad. But as always, that ultimate bundle is the best way to do it. But let's go over to Kat, because she's going to show you how to use, actually. Or shall we? Let's do this.
Yeah, sure.
I'll show you the stamps, and then we'll do the demo, because it uses all of these. So your stamps, you can get these in a bundle or individually. They are £8 on their own, or you can get them, the collection's £30. If you just want 2 or 3 of these, they're also on a 3 for 2, but they are, you can see how they fit, they're the same size as your die, so they fit exactly in those spaces. You've also got some little elements there to create backgrounds, borders with, but, and this is the most amazing thing about these stamps, you have the most beautiful stamped sentiments in here. The design of this is just amazing. Kat has requested that Stacey makes these sentiments in this style on a massive A4 sheet.
Yeah.
So we'll see what she does with that, because they are just stunning. You can see there you've got wonderful in every way, and you've got some butterflies in there, little elements to make backgrounds with. Then you've got happiest of birthdays to you, but you've got some really nice flourishes in here. I really like the little elements as well that you get all the way around it. This next one is stuck. Let's try and peel that one off. Then we've got the dog rose with wishing you the very best. And some different butterflies in different styles, which I also really like, because instead of them being like the same style throughout, there's loads of different themes in here. And then this one as well, totally different style. Celebrate the good times with that wonderful peony. And then the last one, the Magnolia, it says congratulations on your special day. There's loads included in here. £30, £8 individually, or on that amazing 3 for 2 offer. So let's go over to Kat for this demonstration, because you're going to do something pretty cool.
I like this. I enjoy
And
doing
I
this.
actually think this is a really good way of showing how you can use them together, you know, as well.
Yeah, all 3 things.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I'm going to use our lovely magnolias. This is so pretty. I'm a bit sad at the moment because all of my magnolia tree that look just like this have all shed. Yeah. So I'm a bit sad. So I'm just going to cut one out.
Oh, we've got a controversial answer here to our Win It Weekly. Emma says she thinks it's B because she remembers an interview about it. Oh, we will see very shortly.
I like that. I like that it's not doesn't just know, and they're not all putting the same answer.
No.
It's good when it has people thinking, or at least Googling. They're wanting the same these days. So as before, just line that up. Make sure it's nice and secure. And if you've got an A4 machine, you don't need to cut into these beforehand. You can just do it all on the sheet, but it's personal preference. So just run that through. And they cut beautifully as well. This is where I'm going to get a little bit funky.
Super crafty.
And I'm going to use my stamp to stamp on top of my die cut.
It's going to add more definition, isn't it?
It will. Now, I know people do this in different ways, but this is how I do it. I've tried just stamping on top of my image, and it's a bit more hit and miss. So this is the way I prefer to do it.
I think it's the best way to be able to line it up, I think.
Yeah, if you can do it the other way, by all means do it the other way. So I just place this on my acrylic block because it just gives me a little bit more height facing up. And then I'm going to go over in my VersaFine because I just like the finish it gives me. Make sure that's all covered. And then taking this upside down on an angle that you're comfortable with, gently line it up and place it over the top. And it's actually
It's really easy to, it's so
easier
easy
than it
to line
looks.
up.
Now you can press that down with your fingers, or I just take a second acrylic block, just rub it over the top just to make sure I've got a nice even pressure over it all.
I think when I did the last set of
Carefully
Snippables,
remove it.
I did exactly the same as you've just done.
And you get this lovely, it just adds that little bit of extra definition.
It's
I don't
really
know how
nice.
much you can pick it up on camera. It's
Oh.
come right up to the top.
There we go. Look at that.
It just
So
adds,
good.
just adds a bit of something,
It's
doesn't it?
really nice.
So I repeated that step on all 8 layers that I've cut. So that'll be my base layer. I'm just going to open it up and I'll just cut into these first 2 big chunky layers, and then the rest I've already done for you. So if I hold it in the position it shows me on the drawing, just a couple of little snips to make out of these 2. Don't worry, I'm not going to do it all again. But I just want to show you how easy it is to cut these away. And you don't, I was worried at first when I first tried this that I was going to end up cutting away all my black lines and it'd be a bit pointless, but you don't at all.
No, you
the
don't.
way they're placed.
Because they're quite on the edge, aren't they, of
Yeah.
the stamp, so you don't, and it looks really, really nice.
And just take that little frilly bit off there. This leaf and 1 petal from this side.
So you're only using 2 die cuts for this?
No,
Oh, you're doing all of them?
I'm doing all of them. I've just
I see,
prepped
I see,
all
I
the
see,
others,
I
so you're
see.
not watching me do the same thing over and over again. And that's that bit. And that's it for them 2. So we'll lay these up and then I'll add on what I've already done. I'll go back to my foam pads.
Loads of people have said some more bits and pieces about what they've stuck things together with. So Shelley's headphones broke and she didn't have any super glue, so she used construction glue and they're still holding strong. Emma says she used it to stick hooks on the inside of a car. That's a great way to use it. Using it on wood works fantastically as well. Caroline fixed her broom handle. Andrea said it made her fixed her wooden frame. Absolutely, it's astonishing how much you can use this for. And Kat, loads of people are giving you so much love for the card that you made.
Oh, thank you.
Stacey, our lovely Stacey, has also said, Kat's a good one, her demos are fab.
Oh, thanks, Stace. I'm fascinated by a cat. I've been stalking a cat on
Stacey's
Facebook.
cat is hilarious. I actually saw a video the other day and I was just scrolling, so I thought it was Stacey at first, but it wasn't. But this is definitely something that Ellie has done, where she's just like, Stacey's been in the bath and Ellie's just come along and like fallen in, like straight in, because she just loves Stacey so much. But yeah, Ellie's a little mischievous cat. Ellie says, are your scissors non-stick, please? The scissors are titanium, so they do have sort of a non-stick coating, but if you use them a lot with your foam pads and you're cutting your foam pads with not cutting them on the sheet, so cutting them off the sheet, then they do get a little bit tacky, but it's super, super easy to pull off with some baby wipes.
So, there we go. That one came together a bit quicker because I'd spent a bit of time doing it, but it's exactly the same process as before, but
It looks so good, Kat.
yeah, it just gives it that extra bit of something on the right card. And because I'm using black in this card, it ties it all in. Yeah, it's a bit dark and mysterious, this one, but I do like a dark card.
I'm excited.
So I'm going to take a sheet of A4 black stamping card and make my card base out of this.
Oh, okay.
You could just do it onto an A4,
On 4 and then
onto a white.
chop it down.
But you're using it, so you might as well use it. Oh, that's high 6. So I'm going to make a 5.5-inch card blank. So I'm going to cut it to 5.5 inches at the longest point, and then right as far as my maths talents go, that will be 11 this way.
We aren't very mathematically talented here. However, on Wednesday's show, next Wednesday, we have a new guest joining us who is very mathematically talented. So fingers crossed, Rebecca's going to add a little bit of mathematical talent to our demo team, because we're all quite tragic when it comes to maths.
And I just need to score this. I appear to be missing a score tool.
But do you know what? I feel like I stole that score tool.
Oh no!
I do not steal stuff from here.
Right, everybody just look away
We
for
got
1 second. Well, I fold this card in half.
No, I thought, oh yeah, there's one here.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, I didn't want to break everything then.
Thank you.
Something that I tend to
So,
do.
yeah. So I take that to 5.5 on my scoreboard.
People
Give it a
will have been
score.
gasping, Kat.
I know. But you know what? Our card's so good, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And especially when you're using stamping card as well. It's a bit more forgiving, isn't it? Than
Yeah,
the satin
absolutely.
finish.
So, there's my black card base. And I'm going to cut an aperture in this so that my flower can pop through. So I'm going to take our Moonstone Nesting Circle dies, and I'm going to take my biggest and my second biggest, and I'm going to use the second largest to cut this aperture, and then I can make a frame with the larger one.
This is a good idea.
Just pops through. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this to make sure it's central. You can measure, but really, who's got the time? And you can get
No one's going to
a good
know.
idea. No, and if anybody comes up to you with the ruler and says, your aperture is 2 millimetres out on one side, you've got my permission to tell them where to go.
Lots of people are also in the same position as us, and they're saying that maths is a crafter's bane. Shelley has also said that even after having a degree in maths, she has even started working in notches. It's the way to go.
It is. Because you can decide what your own notches are.
You can.
Your notches don't have to be the same as somebody else's notches.
Nope.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Maths and crafts do not go together.
So I just peel this off the front. And I've just realised I've missed a step. I was meant to add my my paper
Brown
to the front first. But
I think I'm trying to think how I would do this now if I did it this way
I
round.
could judge it, but
Cut it down to 5.5 by 5.5, and then put your circle in the exact same space.
I could do it from the back.
Yeah.
Because I'm covering it with a
With a loop.
I'm covering it with a frame anyway. So the plan was I was going to cut a layer for the front, leaving a black border, so that would be 3 notches under the 5.5 on both sides.
But once you put the circle, you can still take a little bit off the side.
Yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll stick it on and then just cut it so it's in the same place then, isn't it? Now what I usually would do on this is use tape instead of my beloved construction glue, because it sticks better when you're cutting out dies. You can do it with your construction glue, but make sure you leave it to dry.
Yeah, you've got to give it some time.
Otherwise,
to stick.
your piece can move around, the glue can squidge out the sides and just spoil the look a little bit. So I know this is going to go over the centre, but hopefully when we cut our circle out, it won't matter. you won't see it then. I was getting too carried away and rushing the process. Let's take my pokey tool to get this tape up. But as we said the other day, there's always a way back.
There is.
There's
Always.
always a way back. So just line this over the circle I've already created. Just take a little bit of extra time when I'm lining up when I've not got my construction glue to make sure my border's still evenish. And then what I'll do is if I just pop this in from the back in the middle, and I know it's exactly lined.
Good idea.
Lined up then. So that you could do it this way if you didn't want to stick your layers down in the first place. Anyway, now I've lost my tape.
It's next to your machine.
There it is. Too many things to look at.
Oh, my Nana's watching. Hi, Nana.
Oh, hi, Natalie's Nan. Nak. And this piece of paper was just from the paper pad, as before. I think it was attached to that purple that I'd previously used.
So you've only really used one sheet of that to create this card?
Absolutely. And then the two other sections that I'm using are off another one sheet, so still frugal. Has that worked? Yay!
Yeah.
We've got it. We got there. So I'll just take a little bit more black card. Just give this a cut because I don't need all of it. And use my now larger die and insert my smaller die inside to make my frame. And you could make this as thicker if you wanted to by using a smaller inner die. But again, just line it up so it looks nice and even. A bit more of my tape. It's just giving a little squiggle on me.
Mum's watching now as well.
Oh, family affair.
They're having a very early dinner. 11 o'clock. Oh, Jean's watching from a holiday in a caravan in Cornwall. How good would those views be today?
Oh, I know.
Oh, it would be so pretty.
So nice to see people back on holiday.
I know.
And there we go. There's our frame. So I'm just going to use a glue pen just to attach this around the outside. Do you know what I'm going to do beforehand? Because I'm a picky, sticky fiddler. Sometimes when you cut a frame, you can just stretch it a little bit. And because we've got a bit of white under here, I'm just going to inner edge. I'm just taking off the same lid twice. I'm just going to inner edge this.
So it's
like I
all
said,
black around the
once
outside.
you've done it, you don't even know you've done it. Nobody else will notice, but they would do if you didn't do it, if that makes any sense. And for the sake of 30 seconds, it just makes me a bit happier. It's those little touches that just take your card that people
really
don't even know you've done, but just make the difference.
Oh no, Pat said she used her construction glue on matte layers, and then the glue seeped out, and now she has two die plates that are stuck together.
Yeah, well, that's why you don't do it.
Yeah, that is a.
Or you make sure it's fully dry beforehand.
I feel like if you gave it, you need a paint scraper. Get a paint scraper, something really flat with a big surface, and sort of wedge them apart. You might save your plates there.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrea's got a good thing. Nail polish remover. Nail polish remover's going to work.
So that just gives us a bit more definition to that outer circle.
It looks really good.
So I'm going to take another page from the paper pad to create some depth inside, and I'm going for this like darker brown, the floral image, because all these colours just work well with that magnolia. So I'm going to take this 6 notches under, so it's like a double layer. Both sides. And I'm just going to pop that.
I love watching cat craft. I love watching everyone craft, to be fair. I just get so like into all the different ideas and the thought processes that different crafters go through. It's quite inspiring sometimes to see like how they use the product differently to maybe how you would use it. It's really quite cool. But when you get this kit home and you make your cards, make sure you send us your pictures in, because we'll put them up on our blog, and maybe you'll feature in our next Hunky Dory TV gallery. We can show all of your makes off to everyone.
It's amazing how many talented crafters there are out
There
there.
really is.
So I'm going to use a bit of construction glue just to add this into the centre, and then it'll really pop out when it's done. And of course you can use another piece of this paper on the back to use as your where you'd write your greeting and stuff, because you can't really put it in the middle.
Filling it in with your flowers.
And now it's just a case of adding a sentiment.
That looks so pretty.
So we're at this point. Where can I put it where you can see it while I'm working but not blocking the view off? I don't know. Right. So attached to that lovely brown is some green, and this is where I'm going to stamp these absolutely stunning sentiments.
Oh, they are really lovely.
They're just so nice.
I will be using these with so many cards that I make over the next couple of weeks because they are beautiful. I think it's because the like calligraphy lettering is really thin.
Yes.
It's really, really nice. Heat embossed. This is going to look amazing. When you're heat embossing with these dies, it's going to look so pretty. Whether it's gold, silver, or any real colours really. Using your inks with them as well.
The heat embossing with the dies. I did one in black and gold with the lilies for one of the sample cards that we made, and it looked so pretty. So, just stamping up the sentiment again in our black. And take this up to the edge of the cardstock. Now you can measure.
Oh,
It's
don't
all
worry.
slippy.
We've got loads of room.
We've got loads of space. You can.
This is why you stamp before you don't cut it down. Because I would have cut that down, stamped onto it, and then I had to cut it down.
And that's just what I was going to say. It was like it was going to illustrate my point for me. That you can cut your piece out first and then stamp. But it's a large block, this, so
it's quite tricky.
Handling. So I think we'll go there, because I can definitely use the bottom, so I've only got to cut twice. Give it a good press down. That just looks stunning on that green. And then I can cut around it and then make my own matting layer just by measuring it. Well, I can't get my right way around. It's throwing me off. So, again, because with this wonderful trimmer, you can see that you're not cutting over your sentiment. Just trim it to size.
There's so many people joining us. I know, it's so nice to have all your comments, and loads of people are saying that your card is fab. They're loving this card. Sue says again, another stunning card, Kat. Nim asked, which die did you use to cut the apertures? It was our straight edge nesting dies, our circle ones. I think nesting dies are also on our Super Saver deals. this week. So if you want to add them to your basket to use alongside with your Snippable dies, then this week is a great week to get them.
So to make my mat and layer for this, because I've not got any precise measurements, I've just lined it up onto my black card.
And marked it with pencil.
And on the two edges I could see, leave the gap that you know that you like, and
Yeah.
then just mark it with pencil where you think it'd work. And I find that quicker than trying to measure it all up to exactly the same
me too
size
sometimes
when you're doing your little bits.
And it's good to do it this way and then test that it works, because sometimes what I also do is I would just stick that green onto the black,
Yeah.
and then try to trim it down and it'll be too short.
And then if you get it, just
And then
one
I have
thing.
to cut it all again.
That should work. So we'll just... I'm making a mess over here today.
It's what a happy craft is all about,
It
Kat.
does.
If you don't make a mess, are you really enjoying yourself?
Absolutely. You get too engrossed in moving on to the next process, don't you?
Yeah.
To be
You just push the mess to
tidying
the
up
side.
everything else behind you. Okay, so that's our sentiment created. I'm going to add this to the front of our card. And it's going to be going over our aperture, so I want to make sure I'm just putting my foam pads at the bottom of the side and the sides, so they're not seen through. I'm using lovely long ones here. Just push my mess out the way so I can get to my scissors.
This is going to look so good.
I've lost my card. It's here. Just fold this out and just put this at the bottom just so you can see a bit of the brown all the way around. And I'm just going to finish with some pearls again. And I'm going to do 3 in the top left corner. And like I said, it's a bit darker, this one, a bit more.
It is, but I think that it really makes the flowers stand out so much more because they're like the lightest colour that you've got on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it makes like the centrepiece really stand out. I also think, you know, this will look beautiful in a frame. Like using the
Yeah.
aperture, but having it like flat in a frame instead of having it on as a card. But it's so pretty. And the way that you've coordinated all like the colours that you see in the image is really nice as well. I'm using that black with the stamps.
Well, that's
Everything
it. It
just
ties
stands
it all.
out. It's really, really beautiful.
Ties in. And there we go.
Ah, it's so pretty, and it shows
Still got
how
all your dimension when you...
everything coordinates as well, because you've used the stamps, you've used the dies, and you've used the paper pad in this one.
Yeah.
What a great little demo. Thanks, Kat.
You're welcome.
So, you can see there how everything you get included works so well together, and that is why I would honestly say the best value for your money is going to be getting this in the bundle. $56.93 for the die and the paper pad, and then if you want to, you can add in those stamps as well on an incredible price of £30, which I think, Emily, does that mean you get like 2 free? Or is this too much maths for Friday? We've given up for the day. But they're £8 each. They're 3 for 2. Or you can get them on that incredible mega deal. So that is everything for today. I think Kat did have another demo, but I was thinking, Kat, we can video that and get it up on Facebook.
I've pretty much got it made, so I could
Is it
just
done?
it's just sticking the decoupage bit, so I could still show you if you wanted.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I've got one
Why
base
not?
layer
It's
to do.
Friday. It's
And
Friday.
I can talk you through the rest. I've got one
It's Friday.
little
Let's
bit
do
so I
it.
can show you the stamping technique.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And then what we will do is we're going to tell you the winners of the Win It Weekly. We're going to spin that wheel and we're going to leave you to have a fantastic Friday. But yeah, why not, eh? Why not?
Because I can still show you what makes this card different.
Okay.
But it won't take me very long to put together. I don't think. Let me just find where I've actually put the card. I've just had it in my hand.
Is it under
It's there,
here?
that's it, I've got it. So, what I've done here is I'm using the stamps, and I've just die cut out from the white Ink Me cardstock, and I've already made up most of it. So what I've done with this one, again, I take my acrylic block and I'm going to stamp over the top. Take my stamp. And I'm using our lovely Prism shimmer inks for this. And I'm going to use these to colour my stamp. And you don't have to be really precise.
No.
If you follow the design on your, I'll put a bit of white under this. If you get your stamp in the same position as your design, and you can see roughly where your colours need to go, but you don't have to be exact with it. So just a bit of green around the leaves, a little bit of yellow. Is it the stamen? Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Where you know those little dots are. And that's the canary yellow and the apple green I've used there. And a little bit of the dusty rose.
I love doing this, you know.
Leaves.
I did this the other day on a card that I made, and Anne said, how have you created this? And it was something that I'd seen on online of someone colouring their stamps in this way, and actually just putting loads of different colours on top of the stamp and then stamping with it, because you instantly create that nice ombre sort of look to the edge of your stamps.
So again, just go in with my acrylic block, press that down to get nice even coverage. But with the effect of this one, it doesn't have to be
No, it doesn't have to be perfect, does
So
it?
if you miss a little bit, it's not.
And you can always go in with it, maybe like a pen or something, just to cover up your edges.
Yeah, the brush marker colours with the file liner end do match up with the colours of our inks and stuff really well, so you can go in.
That looks so pretty.
So you just repeat that as you do your 8 layers, and then cut them out, build them up, and you end up with this. And this is all I need to add onto the card, all the rest done, so I can talk you through the card base I've created.
It's just a really nice effect, because obviously you've done that. You did that beautiful card in the beginning, then you did that really striking card with all the dark colours, and then this one just looks so delicate.
Well, when you see, it's not that delicate.
Okay.
Because I've got in with my black again. Because I wanted to use the other elements that were on the set, so it's a little bit grungy.
Oh.
So this is our card base.
Oh my gosh. Will you show that up to the
camera
so we can see? Look at that.
So what I've done, I've used the same technique to create a background with the lilies. So used all the different colours.
That is so fantastic.
And I've done something that I don't usually do, which is go straight onto my card base as well, because I think it works with this one, because you can create your own border, because there's this lovely little line stamp. So I've used the same technique of colouring it at different places and built up a background. And then I've gone round the edges with the black line, and it's just a little, I don't know if you can see it on here, this little black line stamp here, and you can just build it up all the way across. And tile it all the way you want. And then I've taken this gorgeous little like Hessian cross in the black and grunged up the corners, and I think the delicateness of the flowers against the black of the thing. And then I've just stamped the sentiment in black, and then I'm just going to add on our flower.
It looks really cool. A very, very cool idea for how you can use your stamps.
And I think this card, just as it is, you could have it just like that, but I thought, no, I'll add
It's really nice.
You could just use the stamps like that.
Everyone is loving the idea. So many people have commented to say, what a clever idea, it looks so cool, very interesting. It's a really, really good thing to try as well.
And then just add that on. Voila, card done.
Wow, that is really, really, really cool. I love that. What a great example of how you can use your stamps. Thanks, Kat.
You're welcome.
That was definitely worth it.
Yeah, I did like that one.
It was very
All for
cool.
it.
It is time to announce our Win It Weekly winners. The question for your chance to win this scoreboard, and 5 people are going to win it right now, you had to answer which famous musical group could not read or write music. It was the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, or the Beach Boys. And Kat, everyone was right. So the answer is A. It was the Beatles.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Beatles wrote out words and chords to remember their tunes. But when it came to writing music for other people to play, that was left to arrangers at sheet music companies. So companies had to actually take the chords and the lyrics and create the music for them because they couldn't do that. How? Very interesting. But even more interesting is the 5 people that won this. So let's have a look at our 5 lucky winners. They are Sharon Boatwright, Melanie White, Marion Coyne, Brenda Harris and Dawn Halliday. Congratulations to you 5 lucky people because you have won an adorable scoreboard mini. I nearly said a Moonstone mini then. I was just thinking about minis. So these are going to come out to you today. If you can email us at studio@hunkydorycrafts.co.uk, Emily will pass on the information to lovely Ashley and she will get them posted as soon as she has your details to do so. So congratulations to you lucky 5. You have won this incredible tool. Absolutely love these. Let's go now over to our spin the wheel and we will do another giveaway for a Friday. I did it just in time again. So if you've never watched a Hunky Dory show before, but I'm sure most of you will have done, we're going to spin this wheel. This wheel is filled with prizes that one lucky person is going to win. So I'm going to spin this wheel. I want you to comment with which is your favourite flower, and Emily, after a minute is up, will choose someone to win whatever this lands on. So let's give it a go. That was a good spin. We've got a Moonstone die.
Oh.
That is a good one. Is it one die, Emily?
Any die of your choice.
Any die of your choice. So any die of your choice. It could be one of the Snippables that we've launched today. It could be a nesting die that you're missing from your collection. It could be any of the fantastic upsells that we do with our collections as well. A Moonstone die. So anyone who comments with their favourite flower in the next minute will be in a chance of winning this. Emily is going to look through and pick someone to win. And while she's doing that, we've got a few little things to tell you before we finish for the day. So all the comments are coming in here now. It's crazy. Pauline is going to be on Creating Craft tomorrow with a fantastic For the Love of Stamps sale show. I'm going to tell you that up to 50% off some of our stamps are on that show tomorrow. You can get some great stamps on there, so check it out. If you've not got anything to do, she is on at 2:15 with that show. It's going to be very fun. We're going to add topper decks to our rollover box, so next time someone wins that and spin the wheel, they'll be getting those topper decks as well. And then all that is left to tell you is that we are back with you on Wednesday the 5th of May. Dan has been nice enough to let us have Monday off, although he is trying to get us to do a bank holiday show. Maybe the next one, but we will see. I don't think me and Emily are down for that, so we'll unfortunately, but who knows, he is the boss. We might get told that we have to be here. So we will be back on Wednesday the 5th of May with a Popper Topper show and a brand new guest. So we are very excited for that show. We hope you all are too. Emily, do you have a winner?
It is Bev Thomas.
Bev Thomas, you are the winner of that Moonstone die. What flower was her favourite?
Her comment was, I love poppies as
Oh.
they are so wild and free.
It's very true. Poppies look beautiful when you see them on the side of the road. But thank you for joining us today. It's been a really, really good show. Kat, you've done some beautiful demonstrations.
Thank you.
So thank you for doing them for us. They've been so good and really nice to show you what you can be doing when you get these dies home as well. So that's it from us. We're back on Wednesday, so make sure you are here at 10 a.m. for a brand new launch and a brand new guest.